What would I learn in 2017? I think it depends on whether I want to be a freelancer, whether I want to work for an agency, do I want to work for a large corporate enterprise, or am I more of an entrepreneur? I'd also look at what agencies are asking for where I live, regardless of the answer to whether I want to be a freelancer or work for an agency. It's good to know what they're asking for in your area. For example, here in the UK, everybody seems to want PHP. So I'd do that first. If I'm looking to get into freelancing, I know that I'm going to have to know a little bit of everything. I'm going to need to know some sysadmin because I'm going to be moving sites from one host to another, setting up email, that kind of thing. I'll need to know a little bit of back end, some front end, and some design. But I would focus more on the UX side of things and the marketing, because small business owners don't care about technology. Don't be talking to a small business owner about how you can set up a VPS and you're going to set up HTTP2, you're going to use PHP 7.1. Their eyes are going to gloss over. If you want to connect with them, you need to be talking about making sales, and that's where UX and marketing comes into play. So you're going to need to know that stuff. You're also going to need to put yourself out there, because as a freelancer, you're responsible for winning your own business. So you're going to be looking at, I think, putting out blog posts, podcasts, YouTube videos. You need to let people know that you exist, that you're on the pulse, and that you're relevant. I made a video on one of my other channels about why I think branding is so important in today's age and in today's market, so go check that out. And I say that because we're moving through a transition, the industry is. I was reading a blog post by Paul Boag, and he's been in this industry for, I think, 20 years. And he explained it this way. The bottom end of the market is being eaten up by Wix and Squarespace, and the top end of the market are moving in-house. They're employing their own developers. But there is business to be won in the middle for those agencies that can focus on a niche. So if you can focus on building a hotel booking websites or holiday resort websites, there's definitely business to be won. And I would look at making a team and presenting yourself as an agency. So that's hooking up with other designers and developers. So it has its pros and cons. The main con is having to win your own business, not having a regular salary, but the main win is that you get to work from anywhere. I'm a freelancer. I can go to Starbucks if I want with my laptop and do work, as long as the work gets done. Right now it's 10 to 4 a.m. I can wake up whenever, stay up whenever, and do work. I can travel the world. Freedom of time, freedom of location. As a freelancer, you don't need to go too deep. You don't need to know everything about JavaScript. You can leverage jQuery and the power of plugins. There's great plugins out there. There's Scroll Magic, Scroller. You can produce real great websites without having to be an expert in JavaScript. You can leverage the power of a CMS. WordPress can handle all of the back end. If you want to build a booking website, it can do that. So you want to leverage the power of these things. You don't need to be an expert. The expertise comes in more so if you want to work for agencies. You're going to need to know the latest JavaScript frameworks. The two main ones right now, I think, are Angular 2 and React. The adoption of Angular 2 has been very slow, so I'd be looking at learning React, and I'd be looking at learning a back-end language. So here in the UK, most agencies are wanting PHP, some Python. Ruby seems to have reached its peak, I think it's fair to say. I was listening to a podcast of this guy, and he runs the Ruby Rogues podcast, and he was pulled up on this. Someone said that Ruby is just legacy code right now. There's nothing going on. The community is getting smaller. And he didn't exactly defend it. He did later on come out with a podcast about how Ruby isn't dying, but if you look at it from a sober point of view, it definitely seems to have reached its peak. So I'd be looking to get into either Python or PHP at this point. And look, I know that PHP isn't the best language in the world, but I've been watching how things have been panning out over the past 3 years, and PHP is just, it's solid as a rock. As this is PHP, like everyone disses PHP, yeah, it's still remaining solid as a rock. Doesn't look like it's going anywhere right now. It's become a beast, and I know, look, like you don't need to tell me about PHP's flaws. Okay, I'm just looking at what people are asking for, where I live, and they all want PHP. At least with React, going back to JavaScript, there's a path with React to hybrid app development via React Native, so that makes React very attractive to me right now. Yes, it is quite a challenge to learn JavaScript. Chris Hawkes has been talking about that. The community seems quite fragmented. Everyone wants to go in their own direction. You're pulling in a load of dependencies on a lot of these projects right now to learn to have a project using the cutting edge. I think they eventually will sort that out. So working for an agency, rather than having to know a little bit of everything, UX and some back-end sysadmin, you're looking at more focusing and becoming an expert at a particular technology. If you want to work for large corporate enterprise, which is going to mean being more of a programmer, more of a software developer, then I think I'd be looking at getting a degree. Large corporations, they play by the book. They have a lot of red tape and a lot of bureaucracy. So before you can even get an interview with them, they're going to want to see a degree on your resume. So you're looking at learning at university either Java or C#. I would actually look to do more of a programming based degree rather than computer science. Some computer science degrees don't actually involve a lot of programming, so I'd look into that. C# is very attractive because Windows acquired Xamarin. You can make hybrid apps, so at least with C#, there's a path towards making hybrid apps. Personally, I actually prefer native. That's why I've been making iOS apps. That's why I've not been making videos on this channel. But if I was to learn another language, it would be C# because I know I can move into Xamarin. Android, for me personally, just isn't attractive enough right now to want to get involved in. If you're an entrepreneur, I think the models that I'm aware of in terms of web development technology are making your own courses, making your own tutorials, making video, attracting an audience, and then you can sell advertisements and become somewhat of an affiliate marketer. There's a good podcast out there you can listen to. It's called Entreprogrammers. John Sonmez is on there with a few other guys. I follow John Sonmez's YouTube channel, so I'm most familiar with him. So go check that out if you're more of an entrepreneur. Can't really shed that much light on here for you. I'm a humble web developer right now. But anyhow, I'll leave it there. No one really knows where the market is going, and I think we want a little bit of uncertainty to keep it exciting. Anyhow, that's it for this video. Hope you got something from that. Leave any questions you have below. Like the video if you found it helpful, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Hey guys, so I just thought I'd take a moment to tell you about Team Treehouse. It's a great place to go if you want to become a web developer or even a games developer, and they also cover design. So they cover everything and it's all in one place. This is how I got started in the beginning, and they really know how to break a topic down so that you can grasp it very quickly, which is real handy in the beginning because there's a tendency to want to try a little bit of everything before you really decide upon what it is you want to focus on. And when you do decide what you want to focus on, they've got your back. With the help of Team Treehouse, I was able to submit my first app to the iOS App Store. These tutorials are at a different level. These guys are paid very handsomely to go away for 3 or 6 months and really think through the best way to teach their particular technology.
Organize collections of things. List and dictionary are also examples of...
That's just to give you a little taster of the caliber of the presentation. But it's not just the presentation. Take the SAS course, for example. This is the guy who invented SAS. They wanted to put a sketch course out there. Who did they go and get to teach the course? Well, they only went and got one of the co-founders of Sketch. So there's basically 3 packages. There's the entry level $25 per month package, which is what I'm enrolled in. There's Pro and there's Tech Degree. The forum has really helped me out. When I submit a question, typically I get an answer within a couple of hours. It's helped me on actual client projects as well, when I've been unsure as to what technology to use. I've left my affiliate link in the video description below. I'd really appreciate it. If you are going to sign up, do so via that link in the video description. There's a free trial. You've nothing to lose by going over there and signing up. If you've got any questions, fire them my way. This is all from me. Take it easy. Peace.